Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at Polestar. Polestar welcomes Geely's long-term commitment to its development and growth as an independent exclusive performance brand. This is huge news in this space. This news is coming directly from Polestar, and they've had a statement to say. The Swedish electric performance car brand welcomes Geely's Sweden holding as a potential direct new shareholder. Volvo Cars is evaluating a potential adjustment to its shareholding position in Polestar. This is including a distribution of shares to its shareholders, with Geely Sweden Holding being the primary recipient. Volvo Cars will remain a strategic partner in areas across R&D, manufacturing, and after-sales and commercial. Polestar has made significant progress in developing an all-electric model lineup, a global sale and service network, and a diversified manufacturing footprint. Polestar announced a strengthened business plan in November 2023 that sets clear path for profitability. With business actions to manage costs, drive higher margins and cash flow, Polestar reduced its expected external funding needs to approximately $1.3 billion until target cash flow break-even in 2025, and it's well advanced on securing the additional external funding that are required. We do have a statement from Thomas Ingolf, the CEO, and I quote, "With our growing lineup for exclusive performance cars, Polestar is in one of the most promising phases of its development. We have successfully ramped up production and started sales in China. Europe and Australia of Polestar 4 and 3 is expected to start first customer deliveries this summer. We look forward to continued cooperation with Volvo Cars, as well as benefiting from even greater synergy with Geely on future-oriented technology." The big question is, should Polestar be an independent company on its own? What's being proposed here is not that it will be independent, it's that it will make a slight departure away from Volvo. This departure is to make the company fully under the control of Geely. Keep in mind, Geely is the major shareholder in Volvo, so Geely will still have both companies. The slight difference is that Volvo will have slightly less control, if not entirely less control, in fact, by the sounds of it, depending on how much shares they hand over. I can see Volvo still holding a small percentage of the Polestar company, given it's so incredibly cheap. But on this news alone, the Volvo shares have already jumped significantly. So clearly, it is not something to joke about. So let's have a look at that. Volvo Cars soars after announcing Polestar exits, record sales. Sweden Volvo Cars jumped 27% after it said it would seek to divest its stake in Alliant luxury EV maker Polestar. The shares of Swedish automaker Volvo Cars, this is VOL Car B, which is majority owned by Chinese Geely, surged as much as 32%, and it trades at 27% higher on Thursday afternoon. That's quite a difference. Now, don't get me wrong, the Volvo car brand was already undervalued. The stock was already undervalued. I've been paying attention to the stock for quite some time. Both Volvo and Polestar are heavily undervalued. Volvo being surprisingly undervalued because they're actually profitable. Their valuation was just around 7 to 8 billion pounds. So jumping by over 30%, or roughly trading around 27% higher, that is significant. We're looking at anywhere from 10 to 12 billion in valuation now. So this is the company. Everything is in Swedish krona. So in market cap, it's 102 billion in Swedish krona. So taking a look at the surge, you can see that it's been trading relatively at a low valuation for quite some months now. It's been falling in valuation for quite some months, in fact. And recently in January, it reached as low as 25 Swedish krona and roughly around 27 Swedish krona yesterday. But today is trading at 34 Swedish krona. So if you're curious about how much this costs in pounds, that's £2.57. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So how will this affect Polestar? By the looks of it, hopefully not too much. It just means that they'll be given less funding to Polestar. But the good news is they seem to still want to have quite a bit of involvement with the Volvo company. I think the positive takeaway is that Volvo seems to want to still continue supporting Polestar. And naturally, that's what Geely would want as well. Geely owning Volvo can obviously make that decision, depending on how the board is set up. But it looks like they want to continue that. So Volvo Cars will remain a strategic partner in areas of R&D, manufacturing, and after sales and commercials. So this is good. It doesn't seem like much will change except for Volvo will hand over less money to Polestar because they have less money to give. It makes a lot of sense in my opinion. But I still see a lot of benefit from the Volvo company. So I'm really happy that the involvement won't just stop completely. But it is big news. Everyone's reported on it. Bloomberg as well. Geely set to bail out troubled Polestar as EV rout deepens. Geely to support loss-making EV maker as the market cools. Volvo Cars to stop funding former unit Polestar. Shares have surged. Yeah, the shares certainly surged. That's a lot. Over 25%, 27% in terms of trading. So Geely is preparing more funding for its struggling EV maker Polestar as a way to revive financial pressure on another company it owns. So this will help Volvo quite a lot because this seems to be very taxing on Volvo as a company that is still struggling to transform their business into the electric age. So having one less company to fund, it takes off a huge amount of headache. I can see why Volvo being involved 3, 5, 6 years ago made a lot of sense. That was the point of which when Polestar became its own company. But now, times are different. At the end of this year, Polestar will have over 3 vehicles available on the market for sale. Polestar is becoming quite a different company, its own independent company. So perhaps the time is right for Volvo to step aside, but still support the brand in various R&D and manufacturing facilities. The proposed deal will see Volvo Cars transfer some of its 48% stake in Polestar to Geely Holding Group. The Swedish manufacturer said Thursday, the move followed a slower than expected ramp up at Polestar. Together with a broadening EV slowdown, has dragged shares to a record low. Volvo Cars, which previously owned Polestar as a sporty sub-brand, has been fighting its own battles and last year started to cut some 1,300 jobs as part of its drive to reduce costs. So what it says here is that Volvo will transfer some of its 48% shares, but it doesn't say entirely. They're not giving up entirely control, which is good, which is smart. Keep 10%, keep 20%. Honestly, Geely already owns over 50%, so Geely has the control in Olden, but they want to give Geely even more control and more responsibility, so Volvo will be able to focus on their company more. Instead of giving out money to Polestar, they can still own a small percent like 20%, 10%. Mercedes sold 10% of Tesla years ago for a few $1 million. It would have been worth billions now. Billions. It would have been worth at its highest around $100 billion. That's what Mercedes gave up when they sold 10% of Tesla. Polestar is quite different from Tesla, true, but it's not a smart idea to give up all of your ownership in this company. You never know, because Mercedes is kicking themselves after what happened. Now, this gives Volvo more time to focus on their incredible car, the Volvo EX30. It's an affordable electric SUV. This car will be extremely important for the global economy. And for the Volvo company, of course. They have more time to focus on that. They can focus on the EX90, their family size SUV. I can see many ways this benefits both brands, in fact. This is less stress for Volvo, and this is more responsibilities for Geely, who welcomes this decision based on everything we've seen so far. Now, Volvo is still pursuing ambitious plans for half its deliveries to be fully electric by 2025. 2025 is just 2 years away. That's a huge task. Now, this is compared with 16% last year. 16% of Volvo cars last year were electric. They're trying to get that to 50% by next year. That's a tough task. Something tells me that they're not gonna be able to accomplish that, but they can certainly try. And the EX30 and the EX90 will be monumental in that pursuit. I can see why the brand is chosen to do what they do. I like both brands. I do like both brands, and I hope both brands continue to be Swedish companies. Yes, they're funded by a Chinese company, but the last time I checked, China is dominating the electric car industry. The only other company out there that is competing seriously is Tesla, BMW, Mercedes, Audi. They're all trying to catch up. But the leader in the electric car space is China, so both Volvo and Polestar are under good leadership. And Volvo has been known to create nothing but reliable, incredibly safe vehicles. And I want that to continue. But please, do the same with Polestar. Reliable, safety, beautiful vehicles. So let me know what you think about this news. It's the New Year's and we're already been hit with so many new information that it's hard to compute. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And let me know, do you think this is a good decision by Volvo? Do you think it makes a lot of sense? I believe it makes a lot of sense. At first, I wasn't sure about this decision, but now that I've read into it and I can understand it, it makes a lot of sense. Volvo will still be involved, but less on a financial basis. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.